This is Smithy.tv.
All right, hey guys, I'm the Lindsay Lewis.
I am at Kevin Heron.
At Kevin Heron. You're gonna be at Twitter. That's your thing. So we're two guys from Toronto who are gonna be talking about wrestling on podcasting and on YouTube.
That's right.
So this is actually, we thought, you know what? Before we talk about, we're usually gonna talk about pay-per-views and Monday Night Raws and SmackDowns. We're usually gonna talk about WWE, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But we decided, you know what? Let's get to know what we think and all that of classic WWE, WCW, WWF. And we just thought we'd ask a couple questions, get to know us, and then
Absolutely.
as we get down, we'll start talking about pay-per-views. But for the first episode, we thought we'd do a little intro show.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, who is your favorite superstar of all time?
Of all time, my favorite superstar has to be WCW era Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho, nice answer. I like that. What was it about him that you liked?
I think that was just when he was at his best, and he had the freedom to really explore the comedy side of his character.
Yeah.
And just like when he was just so quick on the mic, and just he had like a great moveset, like being from
The cruiserweights, yeah.
And like having experience in Japan and Mexico, and just having that history behind him, but he was also just really entertaining on the mic.
I think he was the right mix for WCW, and they had some great classic moments. I would have to go with my all-time favorite is Sting from two WCW choices. Even though Jericho's more known for WWE, he is technically overall you like WCW's version.
Now, are we talking Crow Sting, or are we talking
Venice Beach?
Venice Beach.
California. You know, it's hard. I can't. I like all the incarnations of him, so it's Sting all around. I mean, again, I don't really watch TNA or anything like that, so it's like Sting from WCW is my favorite. Least favorite superstar of all time.
Least favorite superstar of all time has to be the Repo Man.
The Repo Man, WWF early '90s,
Yeah.
He had that he's laughing with the little
the Hamburglar little mask.
I don't get that character to this day. One of the what were they thinking?
I never understood why he had tire tracks on him either. Did they run him over?
He survived. He's like, I'm gonna get people back now.
It's almost like he was just like a trauma victim and just went into some sort of state of psychosis and just kleptomania and started stealing people's stuff.
Now, you said trauma victim, which kind of leads me to a guy who constantly had injuries. For my least favorite, maybe a controversial choice, but the Quad Master himself, Kevin Nash / Diesel. Again, he was okay, but he just... I never found a match where a single match of his that was super entertaining, and hearing stuff afterwards, we had the power, and I don't think he should have ended Goldberg's streak and all that. I thought the streak should have ended eventually, but not by him.
Yeah.
Taser was a good touch, but Kevin Nash would be my least favorite wrestler of all time. Again, I get why people like him, but just there's just something about him that just I guess for me is wrong. Present day, I'd have to go with my least favorite. It would be, and again, technically sound Jack Swagger, but I've never had an entertaining match of Jack Swagger where he entertains me.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
I got the Usos.
The Uso crazy.
Either or, pick one.
Jimmy or Jay. I like when Michael Cole always messes up. He's like, that's Jay, Jimmy. And Michael Cole's usually better at it, but they always get it wrong. He's like, that's actually Jimmy. How can you tell? The tattoo's on the other side. They're again, these guys are all technically sound, but just there's something that doesn't connect with, and the same with Jack for me and for you, the Usos.
I think it's with either of them. They're great talents technically, but I don't care. It's
Ooh, so.
No.
Yeah.
Ooh, no.
Yeah. So we always do that. So. So okay. So what is some of your name a couple, but your favorite theme song of all time?
Favorite theme songs: "Break the Walls Down," Jericho is up there. The Rock.
Every smile.
Yeah. By far one of the best pops you can get. It's just if you smell, it's great. The Ultimate Warrior was pretty good. The Real American.
I am a real American.
Just any of the ones that just get that immediate pop, or Pomp and Circumstance, Macho Man Randy Savage.
And Ric Flair, they both had that classic, their well-known instrumentals. Let me throw some WWE ones at you before I do my WCWs. We both like $1 Million Man, classic. Another classic one with Hulk Hogan, as you said. Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
I thought that one was great. A little wild card in Ahmed Johnson. Okay, tough one. And
crowd.
one that we can't talk about because he doesn't exist. Chris Benoit's theme.
Yeah.
And
Which also I don't think Our Lady Peace really.
yeah,
exists
they
anymore.
actually they don't play it anymore. Our Lady Peace, who played the theme song, Chris Benoit. I'm gonna go to WCW because you had a couple of WWE ones there, or WWF. Alex Wright, shout out to that song. Das Wonderkid, and you gotta do the dance. I gotta remember to look at you guys. Goldberg, walking through that fire. I think Goldberg's. We sort of talking off camera. We were saying Undertaker has a great entrance, but we both kind of agreed. We both love Goldberg's entrance.
Yeah.
And that song, the pyro, that song was great, and just all around that character. But everything around that entrance was great.
Yeah. Well, for my money, the most impactful entrance of all time.
Entrance of all time, but not theme song, as we were saying. Another theme I gotta say is Sting. The Crow one's great, but Venice beats Sting. The man called Sting. Woo! Like at Clash of the Champions or like Saturday Night, just hearing that song, you knew you're like my guy, my number one was there. Lex Luger. Dun, 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 dun. I love that. Shout out to like Too Cold Scorpio and a couple and DDP even. But number one, not the WWE version, but WCW version, Harlem Heat.
No, Ernest
Disco Fever maybe?
Yeah, Disco
Fever. No, but yeah, Harlem Heat would be mine. I like Booker's version, but WCW version is awesome. A theme song is important, I think.
I think so, yeah.
I think it's important because it's setting the tone. There's guys in WWE who are good, but they just like when they switch, like Antonio Cesaro. He's an example of someone who had a decent theme song. They switch it, and I don't think it works. It's just like one of those. I think they need to switch the song.
Well, they need to switch.
But I think that
the sirens don't do it.
Yeah, Scott Steiner's kind of worked, but it's a rare situation works. But all I'm trying to say is, I guess, I think theme songs are important because it sets the tone for like your character and like popping the crowd or whatever. But yeah, Harlem Heat's mine. You gotta, and then so favorite tag team of all time. Mine's a controversial pick. You already know what it is. We sort of talked about it, but what's your pick before we get laughed at mine?
Just being from Toronto, which we are in right now.
Taping live.
Which I totally screwed up the Mick Foley cheap pop.
Yeah.
But
bang bang, Toronto.
Right here in Toronto, Ontario. I gotta go Edge and Christian.
E&C.
Yeah.
They also Edge's song was really great.
Yeah.
Rated R Superstar. They were a great tag team. Almost as good as my pick, which you will all frown at, including yourself. I even told him, and he's gonna probably frown again when I say it out loud.
Oh, it'll happen. Yeah.
It's from WCW. It's from the '90s. They danced their way into my heart as the number one tag team. Too Cold Scorpio and Marcus Alexander Bagwell. 1992's or 3's Rookie of the Year joins Too Cold Scorpio. That theme song was great. It's a great theme song too. It's one of them on there. But that team, they did Paul Roma versus Mr. Wonderful. They faced Harlem Heat, the Hollywood Blondes. I love that team. And like as a kid, if I saw them now, it wouldn't work. And I'd pick someone like Are you
saying he no longer has his stuff?
Buff. See, but I didn't like that Buff as much. Like Marcus Alexander Bagwell is a cool dude. New Gigolo Marcus Buff Bagwell is not. Honorable mention to Sting and Lex Luger, Harlem Heat, the Rockers, Edge and Christian, and the Hollywood Blondes, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your... Let's go with... what's your favorite match of all time?
Favorite match of all time? Just based solely on the fact that I can watch it time and time again. Has to be Undertaker and Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, the Raw match on the ladder match?
The ladder match. Just by far the most watchable match and rewatchable match.
It was great storytelling.
Yeah.
Because you had a feeling he probably wasn't going to win, but they invested you in Jim Ross. We've talked about him. He just helped tell that story too, and it just it's a great Raw main event. It's a great thing. It's a great thing and all that. So just I think it's an awesome television kind of match and all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yourself?
So again, we're gonna go with controversial picks and all that. I've told him this already. Christopher Benoit, if the situation didn't happen, I might have said my favorite match was the 2004 Royal Rumble. The main event at WrestleMania was great too, but I thought that was coast to coast. It was a great performance. Him and Randy Orton and all that was great. But my pick is from a childhood one, so you have to bear with me and kind of understand is from SummerSlam 1991. No, it's not Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart, which was a great match, which led the energy to my favorite match of all time. Virgil versus $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase for the $1 Million title in Madison Square Garden. I didn't come from a lot of money growing up, so there was an investment of like, hey, you're getting against the odds and all that. And Virgil finally, and they had Piper on the mic, like supporting him and all that, and it was a great moment. And he does the roll right at the end when he gets the title and he holds it and he hits the fans. Like it was just like. I get it can be frowned upon, but it was great storytelling. It was like the first time because they did like JBL and HBK did the storyline, same with Cena and like Big Show did the stuff. But it was the first time I saw it, and that storyline, it's a perfect story. Anytime you can have like the butler or a guy who owes something, and just like he overcame the odds at SummerSlam, the second biggest pay-per-view in that time of the year. But just that energy, and I get you can roll your eyes at it, but that would be my favorite match. Coliseum Video presents SummerSlam 1991.
And he's done so well for himself since then.
Lonely Virgil, what is it? What is
Sad
that?
Virgil.
Sadvirgil.com. Who's your favorite announcer?
Hands down, Jim Ross.
He's no Tony Schiavone. But yeah, most people would say Jim Ross. Shout out to like, there was a lot of good wrestler ones like Jesse Ventura, Mr. Perfect, Vince McMahon was good, Macho Man, Piper had some good stuff. Teddy Long did it for a bit too, right? Or no, sorry, he managed. Yeah, no, but like Dusty Rhodes in WCW was great. Jim Ross in WCW was good, but like he came alive when he was WWE.
Oh yeah, Attitude Era, Jim Ross is.
But yeah, so basically these are kind of like the storytelling to see that what we like and all that. Yeah. Were you more WCW guy or WWE or WWF?
I know it seems like I'm more WWE centric, but WCW, WCW. As just channeling my inner Ted Turner. Like it reinvigorated my love for pro wrestling, and I love WCW so much. I watched it exclusively over Raw.
And
over, so like
I tried to watch both, but if I had to pick,
I
had to go with my boy Sting, and like and like it's just like before it got too late. They wanted to they were competing, and like it was important. They had great matches. Like the cruiserweights really like became like light in like North American TV there, and like they just had the great stuff.
From roughly, I guess, 1996 to when they closed the doors. Like, I watched.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that because I want to say an honorable mention for one of the matches. Not the greatest match, but I have to say there's something about watching Sting versus Ric Flair on the final Nitro, just because and like they embrace and like I think Sting had to win. He was WCW, but just seeing them embrace and just like they got like it was a decent match, but just like the emotion that more on storytelling, but that one's emotional. Like it was a great moment. And so I did like WCW a bit more, but as we were saying when we mostly do the show, it's me present day WWE. So, tell us your guys' favorite theme, your favorite matches, least favorite match. Maybe we'll get in that. We'll do little tidbits as we do each episode. So we thought we'd do an intro episode, but when we come back, we're going to probably do predictions to the road to WrestleMania, which is 2 weeks away. And then each time we'll do a review after the pay-per-views, and we'll talk SmackDowns and Raws if we're awake for them. And so next up will be the road to WrestleMania. We're going to think of a cool slogan to end the show with. You got anything?
I have absolutely nothing.
We got nothing for you. So give us, maybe tweet at us. What's your Twitter?
At Kevin Herron.
At Kevin Herron. I'm at the Lindsay Lewis, and we have a show Twitter, which is
at Vintage Podcast.
So tweet at any one of those, and maybe give us a catchphrase or tell us your stuff.
Do you have any questions? Anything for us?
Concerns about my pick for Too Cold Scorpio, Marcus Alexander Bagwell, or Virgil versus Ted DiBiase is the main event, or not main event? Yeah,
I would sooner have Judy Bagwell. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to agree with
that.
On
a forklift. Just...
Here comes David Arquette, the World Heavyweight Champion. So we'll hopefully, and eventually, we'll keep doing this. We might even eventually get to be able to talk to some older wrestlers or newer. Like I once interviewed Hacksaw, so we're hoping to get some connections. So hopefully we can like kind of entertain you or talk about what we're passionate about wrestling and the good, the bad, and we'll try to be overall positive about it. But so thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time. And now we're on the road to WrestleMania. Can you dig it?
Sucker.
Five time. See you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, bro.